Welcome back to all our returning true crime aficionados, and a big welcome to new viewers diving into the world of crime mysteries with us for the first time. If you haven't already, make sure to hit that subscribe button so you never miss a deep dive into the world of unsolved cases and conspiracy theories. From shadowy figures to cryptic letters and missing evidence, true crime has always captivated audiences across generations. Whether it's an unsolved murder in 1940s Los Angeles or a high-profile trial that grips the entire world, there is something inherently magnetic about crime stories. Yet, beyond the cold, hard facts of these cases lies another layer of intrigue: conspiracy theories. These alternative narratives offer a tempting way to fill the gaps where logic and evidence seem to falter. For many, these theories breathe life into dead ends and turn unsolved crimes into modern-day myths. The allure comes from more than just sensational headlines. It speaks to something deeper in human nature: the desire to make sense of the inexplicable, to question authority, and to unearth hidden truths. True crime stories tap into this urge, inviting audiences to not only observe but also to investigate. It is in this gray zone where conspiracy theories flourish, transforming crime cases into puzzles that seem to defy resolution. And speaking of mysteries, one of the most perplexing cases we'll be diving into is the assassination of President John F. Kennedy. Was it really the work of a lone gunman, or is there more lurking beneath the surface? Government plots, mafia ties, or a second shooter waiting in the shadows of the grassy knoll? We're prepared to peel back the layers and explore the theories that have fueled debate for decades. So, if you love unraveling mysteries and exploring the untold stories behind notorious crimes, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more captivating content just like this. Since the early days of yellow journalism to today's social media-fueled frenzy, media has played a significant role in shaping public perceptions of crime. The rise of 24-hour news cycles, clickbait headlines, and crime-focused documentaries has further blurred the line between fact and fiction. When a crime captures the public's imagination, especially when justice feels elusive or incomplete, conspiracy theories step in as alternative explanations. Public paranoia, often fueled by distrust in institutions, exacerbates this dynamic. When official investigations appear flawed or when evidence feels conveniently missing, people begin to search for hidden hands pulling the strings. Was it really just a lone gunman? Was it just a tragic accident? Or could shadowy government agencies, powerful elites, or secret societies be involved? These questions, repeated across countless headlines and whispered in online forums, create fertile ground for conspiracy theories to thrive. The goal of this exploration is not to prove or disprove any particular conspiracy theory. Instead, it is to dissect how and why these theories emerge around certain infamous crime cases, and how they persist long after official verdicts are rendered. By examining both classic and contemporary cases, from political assassinations to chilling disappearances, we gain insight into the cultural mechanisms that feed these beliefs. Throughout history, certain crime stories have transcended their original circumstances to become legendary. Often, the absence of clear resolution or the presence of suspicious details ignites public speculation. Over time, this speculation snowballs into full-fledged conspiracy theories, sometimes overshadowing the actual facts of the case. This narrative will journey through several high-profile crimes, highlighting how conspiracy theories have evolved and embedded themselves into the collective consciousness. Why are we so fascinated by these alternative narratives? Part of the answer lies in basic human psychology. The brain is hardwired to seek patterns and meaning, especially when faced with chaos or ambiguity. When high-stakes crimes leave more questions than answers, conspiracy theories become a coping mechanism, an attempt to impose order on disorder. Culturally, conspiracy theories offer a form of storytelling that is as entertaining as it is unsettling. They allow people to imagine hidden worlds of power, control, and secrecy. In societies where trust in government, law enforcement, or media is fractured, conspiracy theories can serve as a rebellious form of knowledge, a way for the informed public to challenge official narratives. In the realm of true crime, these tendencies are amplified. The unsolved, the mysterious, and the controversial are fertile ground for conspiracy thinking. Whether it's an enduring mystery like the Zodiac Killer or the polarizing theories surrounding the death of Princess Diana, these narratives endure because they tap into collective fears and curiosities. They become part of pop culture, referenced in films, books, podcasts, and late-night discussions. In this story, we will peel back the layers of 6 of the world's most infamous crime cases, exploring how and why conspiracy theories became attached to them, and why in many instances they remain unshakable despite years or even decades of investigation. Human beings are wired to seek patterns, especially in chaotic or distressing situations like violent crimes. This is a survival instinct rooted deep within human evolution. In the wild, recognizing patterns, such as identifying predator tracks, meant the difference between life and death. In modern times, this instinct has translated into how people interpret events, particularly when confronted with ambiguous or incomplete information. When a high-profile crime occurs, especially one that remains unsolved or leaves significant gaps in the official narrative, cognitive biases come into play. One of the most prominent is confirmation bias, the tendency to favor information that confirms one's pre-existing beliefs while dismissing contradictory evidence. For example, in the JFK assassination, those who suspect government involvement tend to focus on suspicious activity by intelligence agencies and discredit reports supporting the lone gunman theory. Another psychological factor is apophenia, the tendency to perceive connections and patterns between unrelated or random phenomena. In true crime, this manifests as people connecting unrelated clues, such as misinterpreted symbols, misunderstood witness statements, or unrelated events, and weaving them into a cohesive, albeit flawed, narrative. This is especially common in serial killer cases like the Zodiac Killer, where cryptic letters and unsolved ciphers invite endless speculation and amateur code-breaking efforts. At its core, crime, particularly violent crime, represents an uncomfortable truth about the unpredictability of life. The idea that horrific events can occur randomly without reason is deeply unsettling to most people. This discomfort often drives the need to create alternative explanations that give the chaos some sense of order or rationale. When an innocent victim is murdered without a clear motive, or when suspects evade justice, many find it psychologically intolerable. The randomness of such acts threatens one's perceived safety and control. To combat this existential anxiety, people often turn to conspiracy theories as a psychological defense mechanism. These narratives reframe events to suggest that there is always someone in control, be it corrupt police, secret societies, or powerful political actors. For instance, in the aftermath of Princess Diana's death, the idea that a simple traffic accident caused by paparazzi and a drunk driver could extinguish the life of one of the world's most beloved public figures felt inadequate to many. Instead, elaborate theories involving MI6, the royal family, and an orchestrated plot gained traction. The conspiracy gave the tragedy a reason beyond human error or tragic coincidence, even if that reason was nefarious. The media has long been a double-edged sword in crime reporting. While it plays a crucial role in raising public awareness and at times, aiding investigations, it can also distort facts, sensationalize minor details, and sometimes prioritize ratings over accuracy. The rise of tabloid journalism in the 20th century amplified this issue, with crime stories turned into spectacles that often focused more on drama than truth. In today's digital age, misinformation spreads faster than ever. Social media platforms, blogs, and independent outlets can push speculative or outright false narratives to millions within hours. During the Madeleine McCann case, tabloids were notorious for publishing misleading information, implicating individuals without solid evidence and fueling wild conspiracies, such as international child trafficking rings or secret abductions by influential elites. Sensationalist headlines create a fertile environment for conspiracy theories to grow. When details are exaggerated or misrepresented, public trust in official sources erodes. Once that trust is gone, people are more likely to turn to fringe theories or alternative explanations. Moreover, the media's focus on dramatic aspects, mysterious disappearances, secret diaries, or clues hidden in plain sight, reinforces the idea that there's always more beneath the surface. As a result, conspiracy theories become not just plausible but, to some, the only explanation that fits the heightened narrative they've been exposed to. The internet has democratized information sharing, but it has also given rise to insular communities where conspiracy theories can flourish unchecked. Platforms like Reddit, 4chan, YouTube, and TikTok have become breeding grounds for amateur detectives and conspiracy theorists who dissect crime cases, sometimes minute by minute. Online forums dedicated to true crime often start with good intentions. Many are built by communities passionate about solving cold cases or spreading awareness. However, without moderation and fact-checking, these spaces can quickly become echo chambers. Users frequently reinforce each other's beliefs while dismissing dissenting opinions, leading to a self-reinforcing loop of speculation and distrust of official sources. For example, during the investigation into the Gabby Petito case, social media sleuths played a dual role. On one hand, some helped gather useful tips. On the other hand, Others accused innocent people, doxed private individuals, and promoted unsubstantiated theories about cults and criminal networks. These digital echo chambers can also lead to the formation of conspiracy communities that thrive on collective research, where anecdotal evidence is given the same weight as forensic proof. As these narratives spread, they often get picked up by larger media outlets or influencers, further blurring the line between speculation and fact. One of the most overlooked aspects of conspiracy theories in crime cases is the profound emotional toll they take on the victims' families and the integrity of ongoing investigations. For loved ones, the loss or victimization of someone close is already a devastating experience. When conspiracy theories target them, whether by accusing them of involvement or exploiting their grief, it exacerbates their suffering. In the case of Madeleine McCann, her parents, Kate and Jerry McCann, were not only scrutinized by the media but also vilified by conspiracy theorists. They were accused of staging her disappearance or covering up a tragic accident. These accusations, based more on speculation than evidence, led to years of harassment and public suspicion. Conspiracy theories can also derail investigations. Law enforcement often has to waste valuable resources debunking rumors or responding to public pressure driven by inaccurate narratives. In some cases, key witnesses may refuse to come forward due to fear of public scrutiny or online backlash. The spread of misinformation can create a fog around a case, making it harder for investigators to focus on credible leads. Additionally, sensational theories can overshadow real progress or credible suspects. When public attention is diverted by fringe ideas, such as secret societies orchestrating serial killings, potentially crucial information can get lost in the noise. The psychology behind crime conspiracies is a complex web of cognitive bias, emotional discomfort with randomness, media influence, and the power of online communities. These factors combine to create an environment where conspiracies not only emerge but thrive, often at the expense of truth, justice, and the well-being of those directly affected by crime. Understanding this psychological and cultural backdrop is essential as we delve deeper into the infamous cases that have become hotbeds for conspiracy theories. The assassination of President John F. Kennedy in Dallas, Texas, on November 22, 1963, is perhaps the most dissected and debated crime in modern history. Officially, the Warren Commission concluded in 1964 that Lee Harvey Oswald acted alone, firing 3 shots from the Texas School Book Depository. Yet, from the outset, many questioned this conclusion, citing inconsistencies in witness testimonies, forensic evidence, and Oswald's background. One of the most persistent conspiracy theories is the second shooter theory, which posits that shots were fired from the infamous Grassy Knoll, a small hill near Dealey Plaza. Numerous eyewitnesses reported hearing shots from this direction, and acoustical evidence has been interpreted by some to support this claim. Another layer to the conspiracy involves allegations of CIA complicity. Some theorists argue that JFK's policies on Vietnam, the Bay of Pigs disaster, and his strained relationship with intelligence agencies made him a target of internal government operatives. Declassified documents have revealed some degree of hostility within intelligence circles, further fanning these suspicions. Mafia connections are also frequently cited, with theories suggesting that organized crime sought retribution for the Kennedy administration's crackdown on mob activities. Others point to political enemies, including figures who opposed Kennedy's civil rights agenda or feared his perceived softness on communism. The Zapruder film, a home movie capturing the moment of JFK's assassination, has been central to public skepticism. Frame-by-frame analysis has fueled debates about bullet trajectories and the number of shots fired, keeping conspiracy theories alive for decades. The disappearance of 3-year-old Madeleine McCann from a holiday apartment in Praia da Luz, Portugal, shocked the world and became a case steeped in conspiracy. The initial police investigation focused on Madeleine's parents, Kate and Jerry McCann, as suspects, citing inconsistent statements and alleged forensic evidence. One prominent theory suggests parental involvement, fueled by media reports and police leaks. Despite being cleared of any wrongdoing, public suspicion continues to linger due to early missteps in the investigation. Human trafficking theories are also prevalent, positing that Madeleine was abducted by an organized ring for exploitation purposes. These theories are often linked to broader fears about international child trafficking networks. Criticism of both Portuguese and UK police forces has played a significant role in feeding conspiracies. Accusations of incompetence, jurisdictional conflicts, and procedural errors left the public doubting the official investigation's integrity. Adding to the confusion was a media frenzy marked by sensationalism and misinformation. Tabloid headlines speculated wildly, sometimes implicating innocent parties and spreading baseless claims, making it nearly impossible to separate fact from fiction. Dubbed the trial of the century, the O.J. Simpson case involved the brutal murders of Nicole Brown Simpson and Ronald Goldman. Simpson's acquittal shocked the nation, but conspiracy theories about the case endure. Central to many theories is the idea of LAPD corruption. Detective Mark Furman, accused of racism and evidence tampering, became the poster child for these suspicions. Some argue that the police planted or mishandled evidence to ensure Simpson's conviction. Another common theory posits that the real killer remains at large, with suggestions ranging from hitmen hired by drug dealers to connections with organized crime. Despite the civil trial finding Simpson liable for wrongful death, this narrative persists. The case also highlighted racial divides in America. Within marginalized communities, some perceived the trial as emblematic of systemic racial bias within law enforcement and the justice system, leading to alternate theories about a wider conspiracy against Simpson. The Zodiac Killer terrorized Northern California with a string of murders, taunting letters, and cryptic ciphers sent to local newspapers. The case remains unsolved, making it fertile ground for conspiracies. Suspects have ranged from Arthur Lee Allen, who police investigated heavily, to lesser-known figures, but no definitive suspect has emerged. Some theories implicate rogue members of the military or intelligence agencies, citing the Zodiac's tactical knowledge and cryptographic skill. The Zodiac's infamous coded messages, some of which remain uncracked, have fed public obsession and speculation. Amateur sleuths and cryptologists continue to offer new solutions, many linking the killer to occult societies, secret government programs, or even claims of multiple individuals operating under the Zodiac moniker. Princess Diana's death in a Paris car crash sparked immediate controversy. The official narrative, reckless driving by intoxicated chauffeur Henri Paul, exacerbated by aggressive paparazzi, was challenged almost instantly. One persistent theory alleges MI6 and British royal family involvement, fueled by Diana's own statements that she feared for her life. Some believe her relationship with Dodi Fayed and speculation about a potential engagement were unacceptable to the royal institution. Others focus on the paparazzi's role, accusing them of hounding Diana to her death. However, conspiracy theorists point to post-mortem inconsistencies, including debates over the speed of the vehicle, seatbelt usage, and blood toxicology reports, as evidence of a cover-up. Public distrust in official explanations, particularly given the British establishment's strained relationship with Diana, continues to keep conspiracy theories alive. The murder of Elizabeth Short, nicknamed the Black Dahlia, remains one of Hollywood's most chilling unsolved cases. Short was found brutally mutilated and posed in a vacant lot in Los Angeles. The LAPD faced accusations of corruption and cover-ups, partly due to their mishandling of key evidence and alleged ties to powerful suspects. One popular theory implicates Dr. George Hodel, a physician with connections to the LAPD, who was later accused by his own son, a former homicide detective. Another thread ties the murder to Hollywood's dark underbelly, claims of elite parties, ritualistic killings, and exploitation of aspiring actresses. The murder's grotesque nature and proximity to Hollywood lore have turned it into a symbol of noir cinema and Los Angeles' seedy underworld. The Black Dahlia case has inspired countless films, books, and conspiracy theories, cementing its place in true crime mythology. In today's hyper-connected world, the influence of crime conspiracies has evolved beyond whispers and tabloid headlines into an ecosystem driven by digital media and collective fascination. The landscape has been fundamentally altered by the proliferation of true crime content across multiple platforms, changing how people engage with criminal cases and conspiracy theories. The surge in true crime media, from blockbuster documentaries like Making a Murderer and The Jinx to globally renowned podcasts such as Serial, has reshaped public interest in criminal cases. These forms of media often delve deeply into unresolved crimes or questionable verdicts, giving new life to conspiracy theories and encouraging viewers and listeners to question official narratives. True crime documentaries frequently highlight perceived investigative failings or judicial errors, which can unintentionally validate conspiracy theories. By presenting alternative possibilities or spotlighting overlooked evidence, these productions cultivate skepticism, sometimes blurring the line between critical inquiry and speculative storytelling. Social media platforms amplify these narratives exponentially. Twitter threads, TikTok videos, and Instagram posts often summarize complex cases into bite-sized content, sometimes sacrificing nuance for virality. This trend allows conspiracy theories to reach wider, more diverse audiences, fostering communities centered around shared suspicion. The rise of citizen sleuths, ordinary people who investigate crimes independently, has been one of the most significant outcomes of modern true crime obsession. Platforms like Reddit, particularly subreddits such as r/unresolved mysteries, have given rise to large online communities dedicated to dissecting criminal cases, theorizing and sharing unverified leads. YouTube channels and podcasts hosted by independent investigators often explore fringe theories or revisit cold cases. Some have even contributed valuable insights or rediscovered crucial evidence, but not without controversy. The 2013 Boston Marathon bombing, for example, saw Reddit users wrongfully identify suspects, highlighting the dangers of amateur sleuthing when speculation is mistaken for fact. While some citizen sleuths adhere to ethical guidelines and collaborate with law enforcement, others have been accused of harassing witnesses, doxing individuals, or spreading misinformation which can obstruct official investigations. The true crime community now finds itself grappling with complex ethical dilemmas. On one hand, collective efforts by the public have occasionally uncovered new evidence or pressured law enforcement to take action on cold cases. The Golden State Killer's capture through genetic genealogy, popularized by the book I'll Be Gone in the Dark, is a prominent success story. However, vigilantism can cross dangerous lines. Some conspiracy theorists have accused innocent people of heinous crimes, leading to reputational damage, harassment, or even threats. These actions highlight the potential harm when speculation morphs into public action without the checks and balances of due process. The entertainment industry's role is equally complicated. True crime creators must balance the demands of storytelling with ethical responsibility, ensuring that entertainment does not come at the expense of victims' families or hinder active investigations. The disappearance and death of Gabby Petito in 2021 serve as a modern example of how conspiracy theories shape public perception of crime cases. As the story gained traction on social media, numerous theories emerged, from allegations of a wider trafficking network to speculation about law enforcement cover-ups. TikTok and Instagram were flooded with amateur analysis of body cam footage and Instagram posts. While some sleuths contributed helpful information, such as identifying where Petito's van was last seen, others spread unfounded theories about her fiancé Brian Laundrie's family and alleged police complicity. The Petito case demonstrated both the potential benefits and pitfalls of collective online involvement. Though the spotlight accelerated certain leads, it also spread sensationalized and harmful narratives, complicating the emotional toll on Petito's loved ones. Perhaps the most sobering consequence of modern crime conspiracies is the emotional harm inflicted on victims' families. Repeatedly rehashing traumatic details, accusing family members, or pushing sensationalized theories can exacerbate grief and delay healing. In cases like Madeleine McCann's disappearance, her parents have faced years of public suspicion and media scrutiny due to conspiracy narratives, despite being cleared by police. Similarly, conspiracy-driven harassment has targeted families in cases such as Sandy Hook, where misinformation campaigns have spurred waves of online abuse. Additionally, unchecked conspiratorial fervor can obstruct justice by contaminating juror pools, intimidating witnesses, or generating false leads that divert law enforcement resources. The balance between public interest and respect for legal processes remains precarious, underscoring the need for responsible consumption and dissemination of crime-related information. Modern technology has democratized access to information, but it has also made conspiratorial thinking more virulent and widespread. As crime conspiracies continue to evolve in the digital age, society faces urgent questions about the ethics, consequences, and responsibilities surrounding public involvement in criminal investigations. To understand why crime-related conspiracies continue to thrive, we must look at the perspectives of experts across criminology, psychology, law enforcement, and journalism. Their insights shed light on the social, cognitive, and systemic factors that perpetuate these theories and influence public discourse. Criminologists argue that conspiracy theories persist because they fill the gaps left by unsatisfying or incomplete investigations. Dr. Scott Bond, a criminologist and author of Why We Love Serial Killers, posits that unresolved crimes and perceived miscarriages of justice create fertile ground for alternative explanations. When the official story leaves lingering questions, such as conflicting evidence or institutional failures, people naturally seek answers that align with their personal worldviews or offer a sense of closure. In high-profile cases like the Zodiac Killer or the Black Dahlia murder, the enduring mysteries create an open-ended narrative. Criminologists suggest that this ambiguity invites perpetual theorizing, as each generation revisits old cases with new suspicions, often influenced by contemporary societal fears. From the perspective of law enforcement professionals, public misinformation and conspiracy theories present significant operational challenges. According to retired FBI profiler John Douglas, false narratives can lead to a barrage of misleading tips, stretching investigative resources thin and delaying progress on cases. Law enforcement agencies also face public skepticism, particularly when institutions have a history of corruption or misconduct. The LAPD's reputation during the O.J. Simpson trial, for example, fueled conspiracy theories of evidence tampering and racial bias. Former LAPD Detective Greg Kading has noted that such perceptions can become ingrained, making it difficult to regain public trust even when procedures are followed correctly. Additionally, law enforcement officials warn that viral conspiracy theories on social media often result in harassment campaigns targeting innocent parties, as well as witness intimidation, which can severely compromise ongoing investigations. Psychologists highlight the cognitive and emotional appeal of conspiracy theories. Dr. Karen Douglas, a professor of social psychology specializing in conspiracy belief, explains that these theories serve psychological needs. They provide a sense of control, reduce uncertainty, and strengthen social identity by fostering an in-group versus out-group dynamic. Conspiracy narratives, particularly in true crime, also activate what psychologists call patternicity, or the human tendency to perceive patterns and causal relationships even when none exist. This mental shortcut can lead people to overinterpret coincidences or ambiguous evidence, fueling increasingly elaborate theories. Moreover, the emotional payoff of uncovering a supposed hidden truth is inherently rewarding, creating a dopamine response similar to solving a puzzle. Combined with the dramatization found in media portrayals, this can make true crime conspiracies highly addictive, encouraging deeper immersion and sometimes radicalized thinking. Journalists play a pivotal role in shaping public perception of criminal cases and, by extension, the conspiracy theories that follow. Ethical journalism requires a delicate balance between informing the public and avoiding sensationalism. Investigative reporters like Sarah Koenig, Serial, have brought critical attention to flawed cases, but some media outlets have been criticized for prioritizing clicks and ratings over responsible reporting. For instance, tabloid media have been accused of stoking conspiracy theories in cases like Princess Diana's death, focusing heavily on speculative royal family involvement. The initial flood of misinformation around the Madeleine McCann case also illustrates how premature reporting and rumor spreading can distort facts and contribute to conspiracy culture. Respected journalists advocate for adhering to fact-checking, respecting the dignity of victims and families, and providing transparent sourcing. As news cycles become faster and social media blurs the line between professional journalism and public commentary, these ethical standards are increasingly vital. Across these fields, experts emphasize the need for media literacy, critical thinking, and institutional accountability. Criminologists urge more transparent investigations, psychologists call for addressing the cognitive roots of conspiratorial thinking, and law enforcement stresses open communication to bridge gaps in trust. Journalists, meanwhile, are tasked with navigating the fine line between raising valid concerns and giving undue legitimacy to harmful or baseless theories. As conspiracy theories continue to evolve alongside digital media, these expert perspectives highlight the societal need for a more informed and cautious engagement with true crime content. The intersection of true crime and conspiracy culture is both captivating and fraught with ethical dilemmas. On one hand, the public's curiosity about unsolved or controversial cases is a natural extension of our desire to understand the world around us. On the other, unchecked conspiracy theories have the potential to distort facts, re-traumatize victims' families, and hinder the pursuit of justice. The line between healthy skepticism and harmful speculation is often blurred. While questioning authority and demanding accountability are cornerstones of a functioning society, they can devolve into paranoia when fueled by misinformation and sensationalist media. The enduring allure of high-profile cases like the JFK assassination or the disappearance of Madeleine McCann lies not only in their factual mysteries but also in their role as cultural touchstones that reflect larger societal anxieties, whether about government transparency, institutional corruption, or media complicity. The unresolved nature of many infamous crimes leaves a vacuum that conspiracy theories rush to fill. However, these alternative narratives often oversimplify complex cases, assign blame without sufficient evidence, and perpetuate cycles of mistrust. True crime enthusiasts, journalists, and amateur sleuths alike must therefore navigate this space with caution. balancing curiosity with critical thinking. As we continue to consume and engage with true crime media, it is crucial to remember that behind every headline and unsolved mystery are real people, victims, families, and communities who bear the weight of public scrutiny and speculation. Elevating empathy and ethical responsibility is key to ensuring that our fascination with crime does not overshadow the pursuit of truth and justice. If you've enjoyed this deep dive into the world of crime conspiracies, don't forget to subscribe for more insightful content and discussions on true crime, psychology, and investigative journalism. Ultimately, the question is not whether we should explore conspiracy theories, but how we do so responsibly. Encouraging open-mindedness without gullibility, curiosity without exploitation, and dialogue without dogma will help create a more respectful and informed true crime community. Stay connected and subscribe for more thought-provoking analysis and responsible storytelling in the world of true crime.